The spaceport was quiet that morning. The air shimmered with heat and dust, the way the deserts of Eridani Prime always did. But in the shadow of Dock 19, a crowd had already gathered. Rumors had spread like wildfire. A renowned alien shipwriter, member of the famed Kelvian Order, had announced he would give away his legendary ship, the Starfire Reaver, to anyone clever enough to decipher a cryptic puzzle. The ship itself was said to be unmatched, faster than any other in the quadrant, equipped with adaptive shielding and with an onboard AI capable of anticipating threats before they happened. For most, this was an impossible dream. The puzzle? A series of ancient glyphs written in a code no scholar had ever fully understood. A human girl named Lyra, barely 13, stood at the back of the crowd with her father. Joran, their situation was dire. Joran was a veteran pilot who had fallen on hard times, barely able to afford a small shuttle to transport goods for local traders. The idea of winning the Starfire Reaver seemed absurd. Yet Lyra's curiosity was piqued. "Dad," she whispered, tugging at his sleeve. Do you think I could do it?" Joran gave her a wry smile, though worry clouded his eyes. "Lyra, this isn't a game. That puzzle has stumped the best minds for decades. Even if you could solve it, there's no telling if the Kelvian will honor his word." Lyra's jaw tightened. She had always been clever, often tinkering with old tech and decoding ancient human encryption as a hobby. But this was alien code, something that had defeated scholars from 100 worlds. Still, there was a fire in her chest. "I have to try," she said. "I have to." The Kelvian shipwright, a towering figure with 4 iridescent arms and eyes that glimmered like molten gold, addressed the crowd. His voice was low and melodic, reverberating oddly through the air. "Behold, the glyphs of the ancients. If any can decipher them, I will grant the solver my ship. And not just my ship, but access to my vaults and designs. The code is not a riddle, it is a language spoken by no living being, except one who understands the old ways." He gestured to a hovering console. On it, glyphs shimmered and shifted like living liquid. The crowd murmured. Many had tried and failed. Scholars whispered their attempts to each other. Military strategists and wealthy merchants leaned forward eagerly, confident in their chances. But Lyra felt something else entirely: recognition. Her fingers itched as if the code was calling to her. Joren knelt to her level. "All right, Lyra. If you're going to try, I'll be right here. But remember, it's okay to step back. No prize is worth getting hurt." She nodded. She didn't need him to understand. She knew she could do it. For hours, Lyra studied the shifting glyphs. The patterns felt familiar, like the way human children learned languages by instinct. Symbols rotated in a rhythm, forming sequences that echoed something ancient. Her mind raced, connecting shapes, sounds, and sequences in a way no one else could see. Then she began to speak. It started softly, almost like a hum. Vieshima, Talana. The air around the console seemed to pulse. The glyphs glimmered brighter, reacting to her voice. The crowd gasped. Alien scholars muttered in disbelief. Military strategists froze. Even the Kelvian shipwright's golden eyes widened, the hum of his voice rising in astonishment. You know it," he said finally, awe thick in his tone. Lyra's voice grew steadier, confident. "Rethan Marol." Sile, the code unfolded under her words. transforming into sequences that projected holographic schematics. The crowd was silent now, unable to comprehend what they were seeing. The shipwright stepped closer, his forearms trembling slightly, by the ancients. No human has ever spoken this language in over 10,000 cycles. This is impossible. Lyra's small chest rose and fell with effort. Her tongue twisted through words that had not been uttered for millennia. But she felt a strange clarity and understanding of history and legacy woven into each syllable. Finally, the glyphs stopped shifting. The console went still. The shipwright's eyes glimmered with a mixture of reverence and respect. "It is true," he said, voice hushed. "You have spoken the ancient code. You have deciphered it." And as promised, he gestured grandly toward the starfire reaver, which hovered above the dock, its hull gleaming like liquid chrome. "The ship is yours, and yours alone, child of humanity." The crowd erupted into disbelief. Lyra's father rushed forward, tears in his eyes, embracing her. "Lyra, you did it." She smiled, exhausted but radiant. "We did it, Dad." The shipwright, still standing in awe, lowered his voice. Few understand the weight of this achievement. This code was a key, yes, but also a trust. Only those with wisdom, courage, and the purity of heart could unlock it. Humans, you have far more potential than most believe. Joran laughed, the sound raw and relieved. "Well, looks like we're not flying a rusty freighter anymore. We've got a starship capable of outrunning pirates, eclipsing storms, and charting unclaimed worlds." The Kelvian nodded gravely. "Take care, human family. May your journeys honor the ancients, and may the stars remember this day." As Lyra and her father boarded the starfire reaver, the engines hummed to life. The ship lifted gracefully, glowing in the early morning light. Humans and aliens alike watched as the legendary vessel disappeared into the sky, carrying with it a young girl who had proven that humanity's greatest strength wasn't muscle, or firepower, or even speed, was the mind. Lyra's fingers hovered over the console. "Dad, where to first?" Joran smiled, tears streaking his soot-stained face. "Anywhere, my star navigator. The universe is ours now." Above the crowd, the Kelvian shipwright whispered to himself, a rare smile crossing his alien face. "Perhaps humans are indeed the legacy of the stars." And so, the story spread across worlds of a human girl who spoke the ancient code and unlocked a starship, proving once again that humanity, in its audacity and intellect, could achieve what no other species could. It was a victory not just for a girl and her father, but for the human spirit itself. Asterisk.